Good morning, children. So, today we'll discuss the last ratio of solvency ratio, that is interest coverage ratio. This is one of the important ratio for the companies, and especially the creditors are very much concerned about this ratio, interest coverage ratio. Now, what does it means? This ratio ensures the number of times interest on long-term debt is covered by available profit. Means, is the company capable to pay their interest on time or not? So that thing is covered कि कंपनी के पास क्या उतना प्रॉफिट है जिससे वो अपना इंटरेस्ट क्या कर सके, टाइमली पे कर सके. So this ratio ensures the number of times interest on long term debt is covered by available profit. मान लो प्रॉफिट कम, प्रॉफिट 1 लाख का और इंटरेस्ट देना है 1,50,000 का. So in that case, company's interest coverage ratio will be very low and company is not able to meet its interest payments on time. Fine. So higher ratio ensures safety of interest on loans. That means creditors are ensured that they are confirmed that our interest will be received from the company on time. हमें अपना इंटरेस्ट टाइमली मिल जाएगा क्योंकि कंपनी का इंटरेस्ट कवरेज रेशो क्या है, हाई है. कि कंपनी जितना प्रॉफिट अर्न कर रही है उससे मल्टीपल टाइम्स ज़्यादा उसका उसका प्रॉफिट जो है दैट इज़ मल्टीपल टाइम्स मोर देन दैट ऑफ देयर इंटरेस्ट. Okay, so that is the meaning of interest coverage ratio. Usually this ratio is expressed in times, multiple times, because I am talking about multiple times, so this ratio is expressed in times. Okay, so coming to the next thing regarding the formula of interest coverage ratio. What is the formula of this? So ICR, that is interest coverage ratio, which is net profit before interest and tax divided by total interest charges. Why we have considered before interest and tax? Because after the payment of interest and tax, our profit will decrease and we will not be able to calculate the actual amount of profit or the interest coverage ratio, because once interest is paid, we don't know how much amount of interest is paid by the company. So that's why we consider what कि इंटरेस्ट देने से पहले का प्रॉफिट देखो, बाद का नहीं. बाद में तो इंटरेस्ट निकल गया, फिर इंटरेस्ट कवरेज रेशियो का कोई मतलब ही नहीं रहा. So that's why interest net profit before interest and tax is considered. Okay, so net profit before interest and tax divided by total interest charges. Now, calculation of profit before interest and tax. Actually, what is the meaning of profit before interest and tax? That is profit before interest, and before means before paying interest and tax. Tax और interest देने से पहले का profit actually है कितना? Then first of all, interest is subtracted because it is a compulsory charge, so interest will be subtracted. After subtracting interest, we will get profit before tax. After subtracting this, we will get profit before tax. Now this is before tax, मतलब tax देने से पहले का profit. From this, we will subtract payment of tax. अब tax का पैसा minus कर दो, tax is subtracted, and finally we got profit after interest and tax. So this is after interest and tax. Generally in question, this profit after interest and tax is given. Now what we have to do, हमें उल्टा चलना है, हमको उल्टा चल के यहाँ तक पहुँचना है. कहाँ पे? प्रॉफिट बिफोर इंटरेस्ट एंड टैक्स. कैसे? प्रॉफिट आफ्टर इंटरेस्ट एंड टैक्स, सपोज इट इज गिवन. So from on this, in this profit, what we'll do, instead of less, we will add payment of tax because we are going in reverse order. So payment of tax will be added first. We'll get profit before tax. Then interest charges will be added. Then we'll get profit before interest and tax. Means if in the question profit after interest and tax is given, then first add tax payment, then add interest, and then we'll get profit before interest and tax. Okay. And here in this formula, total interest charges means what is the total amount of interest you are going to pay. Maybe on interest on loan, interest on debenture, किसी पे भी हो, सबको जोड़ के यहाँ पे लिख दो. Okay, सारे इंटरेस्ट को जोड़ के. So in the next slide, I will be explaining you two questions which will be dealing with this kind of situation. That is profit after interest and tax is given, and from that we have to calculate what? Profit before interest and tax. So see here. So in the first question here, net profit after tax is given. Whenever it is given after tax, it means it is after interest and tax. Then rupees 40 lakh 12% debenture is given. So rupees 40 lakh 12% debenture. So this 40 lakh is the total value of debenture, and 12% is the rate of interest on this debenture. So we have to do with this 12%. Okay, we have to calculate interest 12% of this 40 lakh. Tax rate is given how much? 40%. Tax rate is 40%. Okay. So from these three informations, we have to calculate what? Interest coverage ratio, ICR. So for ICR, first thing what we need, first I'm writing the formula. Interest coverage ratio is equal to profit before interest and tax divided by total interest. Okay. So first I'm calculating what is the total interest amount. So debenture 40 lakh. On this 40 lakh, I will calculate 12% interest on debenture. So that comes to 4 lakh 80,000. So that is 4 lakh. Now next important thing, we have to calculate this one, profit before interest and tax. Here profit after interest and tax is given. Whenever it is after tax, it means after interest, because after tax means company has already subtracted this thing. Okay, so that's why it is after interest and tax. So to calculate, now to calculate profit before tax, we have to put one formula. Formula is profit after tax, what is given in the question. We'll reverse the reciprocal, the rate, into 100 upon 100 minus rate. Rate is the rate of tax. It is the rate of tax. Okay. So profit after interest and tax is given how much? Profit after tax is 6 lakh. So I'm writing here. So that is 6 lakh. This is 6 lakh into 100 upon 100 minus, what is the rate of tax? The rate of tax here is how much? 40%. So 100 minus 40. So 6 lakh into 100 upon 60. So that will come around 10 lakh. So this is profit before tax. This is profit before tax. See again in this slide, profit after interest and tax. In this we added how much? Profit, that is payment of tax. That means directly by putting the formula we calculated what? Profit before tax. Now in this profit before tax we will add what? Interest charges to calculate what? Profit before interest and tax. This stage is calculated by putting the formula. Now interest will be added and we'll get what? Profit before interest and tax. So see here. So now interest will be added here. Interest. Now what is the interest amount we calculated here? Interest is 4 lakh 80,000. So 4 lakh 80,000 I am adding. So total it is 14 lakh 80,000. This is called profit before interest and tax. This thing is required as per the formula of interest coverage ratio, profit before interest and tax. Okay. So now we have both the things, profit before interest and tax, and then interest amount is 4 lakh 80,000. So the formula of ICR, interest coverage ratio, will be 14 lakh 80,000 divided by 4 lakh 80,000. So which will be equal to your 3.08 times. This is expressed in times because it means that our profit is almost 3 times, or you can say more than 3 times than that of our interest. So that means company's creditors are again secured regarding the interest payment by the company. Okay. So this is the question. So from this information, okay, this is the question. From this information we have calculated what? Interest coverage ratio. Once again look at this formula. Now see the second question. The information given is 12% debenture 50,000, 10% mortgage loan 1,50,000, net profit after interest and tax 63,000. Again they have given you after interest and tax. This is the important thing, after interest and tax. So again we have to put the formula to calculate what? Net profit, to convert this after interest tax to before taxes. Okay. Rate of income tax is how much? 50%. So see here, profit before formula I'm writing, profit before tax is profit after tax, which is given, into 100 upon 100 minus rate. So profit after tax is how much? 63,000. Profit after tax is given 63,000 into 100 upon 100 minus rate. What is the rate here? Rate is 50%. So 50% subtracted. So it is 63,000 into 100 upon 50. Cancelling these two. So it will be, so this will be 1,26,000. So this is profit before tax. Again we have to calculate now what? So next we will add what? Interest. Interest on loan, debenture, whatever it is. So here first thing, 12% debenture is given. How much? 50,000. कितना का debenture है? 50,000 का. तो 50,000 का निकालना है हमको what? We have to calculate what? 12% of 50,000. So that first one is your interest on debenture. 50,000 और इसका 12%. कितना हो गया? It is 6,000. First thing. Second, they have given you 10% mortgage loan. Loan कितने का है? 1,50,000. So of this 1,50,000, we will calculate what? 10%. So that is of loan 1,50,000. 10% of that. How much? 15,000. So total interest is how much? 21,000. Will be added in this. So we'll get what? 1,47,000. So this is profit before interest and tax. Finally, putting the formula of ICR, interest coverage ratio. 1,47,000 divided by, what is the total interest here? 21,000. So this interest will be transferred here, 21,000. So the final answer we got is 7 times. That means our profit is 7 times more than that of our interest. So this is the significance of interest coverage ratio. Okay, higher the interest coverage ratio, better is the security of the creditors. Okay, so in this way you can have a look on this question. The question is given this one. Then first of all, tax will be added, then interest will be added, and then we'll get profit before interest and tax. And finally, putting in the formula, we'll calculate interest coverage ratio. Higher is better, lower is not good. Okay, understood? And in the description box, I will attach the list of link of the questions, so you can have the questions from there. Okay, thank you.